A pretty alarming article is in Alternate and Salon right now about how we may be poisoning ourselves with just your common, everyday household items. And I want to run through a few of these to give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. Take candles, for example. They seem benign, but they can actually be very dangerous. They say, quote, paraffin wax is often used in candles, and it starts out as a byproduct of petroleum, coal, or shale. After it's extracted from the mix, the paraffin bathes in industrial-strength bleach to give it its whiteness. However, this also infuses paraffin with dioxins. Another chemical, acrolein, is a compound linked to the risk of lung cancer from cigarette smoke, and it's added as a solidifying agent to the candle. So what they say is you're actually releasing some toxins and a few carcinogens in the air when you're burning a candle, and studies show that the burning of paraffin candles releases benzene and toluene. Those are also both known carcinogens, and it's even true of the high-end candles. So that's a problem. You know, people think, well, the more I pay, the better off I am. You know, I pay for the quality of the product I get. They say, no, even with the expensive candles, it appears like this is the case. And they say the fragrances in some candles and the dyes in some candles also have toxic plasticizers. Who knew? They also talk about dryer sheets. They oftentimes smell awesome. I know, I've smelled many in my life. And a study published in the August 2011 issue of the journal Air Quality, Atmosphere, and Health indicates that scented laundry items can contain numerous carcinogens, including acetaldehyde and benzene. Baby wipes also contain the compound bronopol, which is an antimicrobial agent that can release low levels of formaldehyde as it breaks down. So this one is for if you have like baby wipes sitting on the shelf in your house for like years, and then for whatever reason somebody uses them. That's a problem because the longer it stays there, it's more likely to create low levels of formaldehyde, and that can irritate the eyes and throat, cause headaches and dizziness, and it's a carcinogen. Markers is another one. Markers are rich in chemical solvents, including xylene, which is a neurotoxic hydrocarbon that can leave people feeling sick even after exposure to trace amounts. And then another one, new carpets. That's a shame. They give off this really distinct smell. Those are all chemicals. Things like toluene, bromine, benzene, formaldehyde, ethylbenzene, styrene, and acetone. Routine exposure causes headaches, throat and eye irritation, allergies, confusion, and drowsiness. Long-term exposure leads to learning and memory impairment, birth defects, decreased fertility, and diseases of the liver, thyroid, ovaries, kidneys, and blood. There's some crazy stuff, man. Some crazy stuff we're talking about. Now, look, do I think that, you know, we can pound the gavel on all these and say, they should ban these products? No, of course not. In fact, the article doesn't give specifics as to, you know, numbers of how many people have been affected and in what kind of a negative way and what are the percentage risks. You know, I don't buy that these things are necessarily as bad, like when they say this has a carcinogen in it. That doesn't mean that when you're like 42, you're going to get cancer. It's not like as bad as cigarettes where there's a clear link and the numbers are overwhelming, right? But what this does show you is that we should be studying this more, and we should have an FDA which is doing its fucking job, which says, whoa, these have potential really bad problems, so let's study these and then release guidelines and release regulations that mandate, you know, the way you can make the product with different chemicals that are more acceptable and don't have as high risks associated with them. But the problem is that the FDA is paid off by the same companies that they're supposed to be regulating. All these different industries donate to the politicians and donate to the FDA, and then they look the other way while they get away with all this shit. So it's a problem, man. Money in politics is the main driving problem about this. And it's time to fix it. It's time to reverse the trend, demand the studies, and get some effective regulations that can police just how bad these everyday things are that we're always surrounded by.